we'll start from the beginning. To enable or disable LM, which stands for Logic Magician, and we'll call it LM from now on, just use Control Escape.
Magician off.
You will hear sound and VoiceOver announcing its state.
Magician on.
It's going to make a specific sound when it's enabled and when it's disabled. As we mentioned earlier, that there are times where normally you'd have to turn off similar tools to, say, type or something like that. Because of how this is set up, where we have it set up that you can type, say, rename a track without having to turn it off, you will hear the sound when it auto disables, and then you'll hear the sound when it auto re-enables. So essentially what's happening behind the scenes is there are certain times where you might need to type in, say, a track name. It auto disables Logic Magician so you can type in a track name, and then after you type in a track name, it auto re-enables it. So the same sounds you hear when you turn it on and off are the same sounds you'll hear when you do various things where Logic Magician gets automatically disabled and automatically re-enabled.
Control Escape.
Magician off. Magician on.
So yeah, now in the main window, which is this window, of course,
Vector, group, control bar, toolbar.
all the F keys are for something in control bar. Let's go from F1 through F12. F1.
140 BPM tempo.
Yeah, it's tempo. It will always tell you like this. Firstly, value, then explanation of it.
140 BPM tempo.
Okay, F2, F3, left and right locators.
18 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick left locator. 36 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick right locator.
Their position. F4, project end.
147 bars project end.
Okay.
Now, F1 through F4 have a couple different ways you can control them, especially F1, which is a tempo. So if I press F1,
140 BPM tempo.
you hear the tempo, and you can change the tempo with Option plus or minus. Now, plus and minus are going to be immediately to the left of the backspace or delete key, generally speaking, on your keyboard. So if I do Option minus,
130. 120.
you see that takes you down by 10 BPM at a time. And if I do Option plus,
130. 140.
you see that takes you up by 10 BPM at a time. Now, if you want to move in increments of 1 BPM, you can use Option Shift minus and plus. So Option Shift minus,
139. 138.
and Option Shift plus.
139. 140.
So if you wanted to say go to 125, you can do Option minus,
130. 120.
down to 120, and then Option Shift plus.
120. 120. 123. 124. 125.
And there you have that at 125. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how we can type in a tempo. And we have two special key commands that are part of Logic Magician. Shift W generally reset the last parameter you adjust to its default setting. And Option W will let you type in a value for the last parameter you adjusted with an appropriate value. So let's say I wanted to set this back to 140. The tempo is the last thing I adjusted, so I can do Option W
125.0000 tempo slider
and type in 140 and hit return.
140.0000.
And you see the tempo is at 140. But the cool thing about this, I'm going to press Option W again. And this time I'll type in 123.45, hit return. And if I hit F1,
123.44,999,694,000,008.
you see there it is. You can type in custom tempos like that. All right, so now I'm just going to do Option W.
123.4500 tempo slider.
And I'm going to type in 140 again. Hit return. And if I press F1,
140 BPM tempo.
you see it sets the tempo back to 140. Now, F2 and F3 and F4 can also benefit from Option W. So let's say we want to set our left locator location. If I hit F2,
18 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick left locator.
you see our left locator is at bar 18. What if I really need that to be, say, at bar 17? Now I can move my playhead to bar 17 and then do Command Option left bracket to set the left locator to bar 17, or I can just hit Option W
018 bar slider.
and type in 17, hit return. And now if I hit F2,
17 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick left locator.
You see my left locator is at bar 17. And let's say I want to set my right locator to say bar 33. I'm going to press F3 for the right locator.
36 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick right locator.
And now if I do Option W,
36 bar slider.
I can type in 33, hit return. And if I hit F3,
33 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick right locator.
you see my right locator is now at bar 33. So if I were to press the letter C as in Charlie to toggle cycle mode on, it will play the project back from bar 17 to bar 33 on repeat until I turn cycle mode off. So using F2 and F3 with Option W is a quick way to set the locator positions if you want to cycle a section of the project, or use the locators for anything else like editing, as we'll cover in a later tutorial. And for F4,
147 bars project end.
that's the project end. Now this is going to be set by default to bar 129, but if you record past bar 129, it will automatically extend the project end to wherever the last region in the project ends. But let's say you have a project that ends at bar 89 and the project end marker is still at bar 129, and you say you want to move that end of project marker to bar 89, you can also do that with Option W.
147 slider.
Type in a value like 89, hit return. And now if I hit F4,
89 bars project end.
you see the project end is set to bar 89. Now I'm
Menu
going
bar.
to undo that.
147 bars project end.
And you see sets back to 147. So those are some ways you can manipulate the values for the parameters that we can access with function row from F1 through F4. Now Lucky's going to continue on with the remainder of the function row and show you the double press action that you can use on those.
Now from F5 to F12, you have actually special functions.
44 1 kilohertz sample rate.
Yeah, F5 is sample rate, but if you press it twice,
Menu check mark 44 1 48.
it will open the sample rate menu and you can go through it, choose optional like, and that's it.
Control bar toolbar track 12 piano underscore 1.
Next thing,
128 buffer size.
buffer size. And same thing, if you press it twice,
Menu check mark 256 512 1.5 buffers 32 64.
it opens a menu for you. F7, which is tuner toggle on and off, and it will work only if you're if you have audio track selected. It won't work on MIDI tracks or stacks folders. It will simply say not available,
Not available.
like that. Next,
Custom display mode.
custom display mode.
Menu check mark custom.
You hit it twice.
Giant beats display. Open giant time display. Input 1. Default
Same logic.
Choose whether the project tempo is maintained, adapts to the tempo of audio recordings and imported audio files, or if Logic Pro determines the project tempo behavior.
Project tempo pop-up menu. And if you haven't opened it yet in this project, for some reason Logic Pro doesn't allow us to gain the value of the menu. So it will tell you something like this, but if you open that menu,
Check mark, keep and dash, keep project, adapt and dash, adapt auto and dash, automatic mode.
like this, and now if you read it,
Keep project tempo.
yeah, it tells you actually chosen value.
7/8 time signature.
Time signature F10, and same thing, if you double press it, you will open the menu,
Menu check mark 7/12/8 7/4 2/4 9/4.
and so on.
C major key signature.
Key signature F11,
16 division.
and division F12. Both will open menu when you double press it.
One other thing to add here is that F12, which speaks to the division value,
16 division.
and as Lucky said, if you double press it, it will drop down the division value menu so you can pick a different division value. But the other thing we can do is use Control/ and Control/Shift/ to change the division values. So if I do Control/,
24. 32.
you see I'm going up to the next division values, and if I do Control/Shift/,
24. 16. 12. 8.
you are going down by division values. So this is useful because instead of having to remember when to use Control Option Command period and comma versus Control Command Shift period and comma versus Control Command period and comma, you can just use Control Command period and comma to move by division value, and then use Control/ and Control/Shift/ to change your division value from, say, a quarter note to an eighth note to a 16th note, depending on what you're trying to do. Or you can double press F12
/8 menu 12 items
To drop down the division value menu and then just pick a value from here
/16
and hit return.
closing menu control bar toolbar.
So this is one way Logic Magician may help make things a little bit simpler when navigating your project or editing in Logic Pro. Use period and comma to move by bars or measures, and use control command period and comma to move by division value. By default, division value is going to be set to a 16th note, but you can change that to an 8th note or a quarter note. A quarter note is also a beat, or a 32nd note, 64th note, etc. by double pressing F12, using up and down arrows to choose one of the division values from the menu and press return to select it, or using Control slash and Control Shift slash to move up or down through the division value list, one division value at a time.
And there are some other options there too. For instance, solo mode, Control S. By the way, before I continue, I just want to say that we really did all that we could to not change usual keyboard ninja commands. So all you are used to that solo mode is Control S. It's still Control S. It just had speech feedback.
Solo mode on. Solo mode off.
And in case you're not aware, solo mode is what Logic calls the function where you're able to solo a region. So the letter S solos the selected track, and Control S will solo the selected region, and Logic refers to solo in the selected region as solo mode. So whenever you press Control S to solo the selected region, that is solo mode.
Playhead position, it's Shift slash.
9 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick.
But if you hit it twice, it's actually playhead SMPT position.
9 bar 1 beat 1 division 1 tick. 1 hour 0 minute 12 seconds 0 frame 0 subframe.
So Shift slash lets you know where the playhead is in the project by bars and beats, and if you press Shift slash twice, it'll let you know where the playhead is in the project in hours, minutes, seconds, real time, or SMPT time as it's referred to. And this is a slash key that is immediately to the left of the Shift key on the right side of the keyboard.
Then we have auto punch on and off in Keyboard Ninja. Kimber file, it's Control Option Command P. It's same here.
Auto punch mode is what allows you to do a punch recording in Logic, where you can punch in a section of a part that you need to record. So in Logic Pro, you can set a punch in and a punch out locator around the section that you want to record. And when auto punch mode is on, Logic will only record between the punch in and punch out locators and will ignore any recording that happens elsewhere in Logic. So in order to use punch mode in Logic, auto punch mode would need to be enabled, and Logic Magician speaks whether it's enabled or disabled when you press the key command Control Option Command P to enable or disable auto punch mode. If you want to see how to do a punch recording in Logic using the punch in and out locators along with auto punch mode, there's a tutorial for that, and it will be linked in the pinned comment or the description below.
So just
Auto punch on. Auto punch off.
as speech feedback. Same for replace mode.
Replace mode on. Replace mode off.
Control Option Command R.
Replace mode is useful if you don't want to have to deal with take folders in Logic Pro. And once again, the key command is Control Option Command R, and Logic Magician now gives spoken feedback to let you know when it's on or off. If you want to learn more about takes and replace mode in Logic Pro, check the link in the description below or the pinned comment for tutorials that cover that in depth.
We also have count in option,
Counting off. Counting on.
announcing its state.
Yep, that's right. Shift K, Shift and K as in kilo is the key command for that, Shift K, and it will now speak with Logic Magician when you have your metronome count in turned on or turned off.